I messed that up. Y'all want to hear the music? Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We had to play that music because we just watched Brad Paisley sing the Star Spangled Banner at the opening game of the World Series, and apparently we lost Fernando Valenzuela this past week or last week. But I remember him. He was about my age, and he could really bring it. Anyway, CW, how was your week, brother?
Really, really good week. We had some really nice weather. It's actually warm here for what we should be getting. You know, we should be in the fall weather. We should be seeing frost on the pumpkin every morning, and it's actually been 40 and 50 degrees in the morning, and it's coming up to mid 70s, and it's been really, really nice days. We had a really bad fire up here local to me on Mount Lamentation that they've been fighting for about a week, and I think 2 firefighters lost their lives in that.
Oh, no.
Fighting that fire. Yeah, I know one of them did. I didn't hear about the second one. Pretty big deal. I guess it gets what we get, root fires down in the underneath the ground. And it was a really bad windy night, and it propped it up. And I don't know how many acres have been burned. It's a lot less than Walter Street out in California because we just don't have the big space here. But this is a small mountain range, and it's probably, I don't know, 20 miles long, 15 miles long. So there's nothing there. It's just all woods and rocks and everything. And it's going bonkers up there. But had a good week. Got to the range 3 times. Got to do some fishing. Couple nights out. It's been a really good week. Hillbilly, how was yours?
Oh, man, pretty good week. My sister and nephew was down for a couple of days. Got to visit them and shoot some guns with him. He'd been in the service for quite a while, and so anyway, he was home, and so got to visit with them and just had a good time. Actually, out the range 2 or 3 times this week, having a good time. And anyway, now I'm just enjoying a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because my wife's at some benefit dinner. So.
That's like a good PBJ.
You betcha. Gene, how's your week, buddy?
My week was pretty good. I sorted right around 7,200 pounds of brass through the rough sort machine. Stayed busy at work. Huh?
You win.
Well, you know, somebody's got to keep the reloaders happy, and it's my pleasure to contribute the best way I can. How about that? Now, we just got in a boatload of that Shooter's World Clean Shot pistol powder.
That's good stuff.
It's not in the commercial labeling. It's actually in the Lovex labeling with the actual product code, but comes in 5-pound containers. We just got a bunch of it in. I have shot 3 matches with my 226, and it's not very dirty.
Good news.
What are you talking about?
That Shooter's World Clean Shot.
Yeah, I got 1 pound of that stuff, and I'm liking it.
I'm only running. I'm under a 147 grain. I'm running 3.2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and making power factor.
Yeah,
it's economical. A little goes a long way, and man, you will love it because you will not have to clean your piece every time you shoot it. I'm probably right between 500 and 600, and I don't see a need to take it apart. Just saying. But everything's been
Good
going
news.
really well. Glad to be on here tonight. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate you. Well, I'm gonna kick it over to the California Casanova. Oh,
I had a good
yeah.
week. Yeah, all right. I had a good week too. Got to the range a couple times, and we had some fire here too. I got to tell you guys about this. I don't know if you'll enjoy it or not. We had a fire at the range this last weekend. Some moron took tracers to the range. This is California, the dry season, which is 362 days out of the year and 4 more in December that we get some rain. This guy shot probably a half a dozen rounds after the fire started smoking out downrange in the grass. Claimed he didn't know they were tracers. How, after the first shot, do you not know it's a tracer even in broad daylight? So there were two other guys at his station. The cops came. All 3 went away in handcuffs. They had a full response. We had helos. We had air, fixed wing bombers going.
Wow.
It only ended up burning maybe 50, 60 acres out there.
Oh,
But they
wow.
took all of their gear, all of their guns, and they went away in handcuffs.
Wow.
Apparently it's a California felony to be a dummy in a no dummy zone, but that's what they were doing. But how do you not know a tracer even before you fire it? They're painted red on the tips and everything. And anyway, so that was sort of interesting, if nothing else. But I got to the range a couple of times, did some casting, some reloading, some shooting, and did some more wad cutter stuff and some more free the fuse stuff. And I went kayaking today and went wine tasting this week. And it was a full week for an old guy, but it was all good, all fun. So, and I was also going to tell you, some of you know my sister had brain surgery last week, and she got through that 100%. They sent her home the next day, and she's got the wrappings and stuff off of her head already. And docs did a good job. They got 100% of the tumor that was in there, and she's good to go. They say it ain't coming back. So that was all good. And
Awesome.
we appreciated some prayers that I know we got. But anyway, so yeah, life's good around Viejo-ville. Kentucky rimfire and hobbies. What's been rimfiring and hobbying over your way?
Well, maybe when I retire, I can go kayaking and courting. I had a normal work week. I only worked 40 hours this week. So
Seems like a vacation, I bet.
got some deer hunting today, but I didn't see anything. But a bad day hunting's always a good day. So I actually just got in just in time to eat some supper and jump on here. So
Good deal.
But how about you, 6-shooter?
All right. Thanks for letting me back in again. I've missed a couple of weeks, but was busy. Yeah, I had a pretty good work week this week. I worked 50 hours, so that wasn't too bad. Finished up all my hot jobs finally. Now I can get on to others' jobs. Speaking of fires, one day going to work, there was a Suburban sitting on the side of the road. The fire department just finished drenching it down.
Barbecue.
Lucky, we were lucky because it's dry here. We're under a big burn ban here and stuff too.
Boy,
And luckily, it didn't catch that grass on fire and the woods right beside it and stuff. So, but yeah, but other than working, that's about it for me. How about you, Dr. Zink?
Well, it was a good week in general. Went to the range Wednesday, had a good time. Like I said earlier, I'm ready to take the scope off the Rossi and put it in a vise and make it into a horseshoe. Because it's definitely not worth shooting. It just ain't the thing. So I'm working on some ideas. And then Mr. Hot Pot, I took your place last week, and what Hot Pot's got, I don't know if you watched it, but we were doing 50 BMG that I got to shoot at the range.
Nice.
So that's that. And as far as fires, I live on Long Island, for you people that want the Long Island accent. I guess it's about 5 miles from me, the Brookhaven Town Dump. I need a bullet for that hot pot. I'd like to get 1,000 grain just bullet heads so I can make up the dummy. I need 2 of them. I want to make big keychains.
Yeah, this is just a dummy round that one of my local shops, some guy put them together and brought them in. They just gave them away.
Yeah, if you run across any 700 to 1,000 grain bullets for that, pick up 2 of them and put them aside when you mail me a little package.
I'll do that, sir.
I'll just glue them in or something, but definitely like to make those 2, look real anyway. And so the Brookhaven Town Dump went up on fire here about 2 days ago. It took them 2 days to really put it out. It's really a covered mountain of garbage that went up. There's another year or so, and that's supposed to be closed down and done. So, but they had a nice fire, but the wind wasn't blowing right, so I didn't get to smell it. And that's it. Just a good day at the range. Other than I hate that little scope. The eyepiece is so tiny. It's just so hard to get it right. So we're looking into some either a Monstrum, Ruckus, or Cyborg, or whatever they call it, or a Vortex Spitfire or a Strike Fire. I don't know which the one to go with, but I'm gonna pick something up because I gotta go. I can't use a red dot. It just starbursts on me, and these aren't really red dots. They're actually little scopes with just lit red. If it's etched in the glass. So it's prism and all that. So there really should be no starburst, and they make it in green. So I got my eye on. I think the more expensive one's red or green. It's $169 for the. Which one is that? The Strike Fire 2 is $165. So that's the one I'm eyeing more, and that's about it.
I had one of those and gave it away on my 600 subscriber giveaway. I didn't care for it much. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy, I hope you're feeling better, man. 12 hours in the ER, that's a bummer, man. And while you're talking about optics, I was in contact with, Papa's Place texted me earlier this week, and he was we got this 10% off code to save you guys some money, and I sent the lady an email and asked her how come it was that my buddy Papa's Place was unable to use the discount code. Had it expired or what? And she said that she was able to confirm that the code had not expired, but on the Amazon store, it's only good for the MS 3x9 by 40 scope.
Oh.
And it's good on any of their products at discoveryop.com. So you can use that code on anything you buy direct from Discovery at their own website, and I don't think there's going to be that big of a difference in the price from Amazon to their website.
Yeah, I wish they made the Scout Scope.
Yeah, maybe they will. We talked to Link about it, but I don't know how long it takes to do the research and development on something like that. You guys are blowing me up over here. 19 comments. Golly, we're glad to have all y'all in here.
I don't know if he'd sell enough of those scopes. He'd have to make it really different to sell it. Because again, it's the eyepiece diameter. They're just too small.
Walks asked earlier about what what is the Shooter's World equivalent to Bullseye, I think it was. You can go on their website, and they have all of their data is there for you to
They have
download there.
They have a comparison chart. You can just look up. You'll find Bullseye on it. Just scroll down till you find the one that is. I'm not sure, but I've used the Clean Shot recently. Only used it. I had a full bottle, never opened. And I started doing some 9mm with the zinc, and I'm at like 3.8 grains, 3.9 grains, and it's shooting lights out with my zinc bullets. So,
yeah, Clean Shot's good stuff. It's very similar to Tight Group.
Mm-hmm. I have so much Tight Group though. Otherwise, I would buy some of that Clean Shot. I have like, what do I have? Well, two 8-pounders. So I got 16 pounds of Tight Group plus 2 1-pounders. So I don't need to buy any powder.
Do you know if it's position sensitive?
I don't know that.
Well, I shoot it out of my Ruger PC. Well, Hotbot's been shooting it, and he's been having no problems with it. But I'm shooting it out of the Ruger PCC, and it's shooting lights out for me. It's shooting as good as Tight Group for me.
Yeah. Chrono numbers on it look really good. I'm only getting, I would say, 20 to 30 variation with a chrono, which is keeping me right in my power factor.
Yeah, and Andy, you're shooting it in 38 then, right?
No, I'm shooting on my Ruger PCC 9mm.
Oh, you're shooting 9mm too.
In a rifle though, and it's,
yeah.
I have it. I forget the feet per second and stuff because I have quick loads and it has that powder listed, but I forget what the feet per second is. Those zinc bullets are flying. They're like 1,400 something feet per second.
They are zingers.
They really. If you're going to base it off of velocity loads, then you can really load the power down. If you want to make like 1,000 feet per second, you can reduce the powder quite a bit.
So, 3.2 is giving me an average with a 147 grain of 875.
Yeah. Well, I'm using the same basic size bullet, but it only weighs 90 grains.
Yeah. But that's giving me a power factor of 134.
Yeah.
And 125 is minimum.
Yeah.
But all the ammo manufacturers out there that do competition ammo are averaging about 130 to 134 power factor.
All right, let me step in here. Don't lose that thought. Kentucky Rimfire. So you're having trouble with your router?
Yeah, he's bouncing all over.
Yeah, we got to do. Everybody's talking and it's just chopping up.
Well, I was wanting to give you a chance to tell everybody good night and plug anything you got coming up before you leave.
Well, I spent yesterday shooting some targets for some new challenges. So I got some new videos coming up as soon as I edit them. That's about it. I got Hasbro's challenge I shot, and I shot one from Country Fire, and I shot one from Bobcat Forever. Then I got a continuation of my comparison between the 1022 and the Model 60 and the Remington 597. So I'll have plenty of videos to edit and roll out this week. So just stay tuned for that. But I don't know why this is so choppy, but
It'll be all right, man. I'll help you figure it out.
You can try not running the camera and see if it reduces your bandwidth.
Yeah. You might jump off and come back on and leave your camera off if that helps anybody. Most people ask me to shut my camera off anyhow, so.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, but I figured I'd be nice.
Golf with your buddies. RTAC, what's going on, bud?
Jamie, what didn't you like about that optic?
Exactly what you said. The red starburst.
But it's not a red dot.
Yeah, it is.
No, then you don't have the either the strike fire or the Spitfire, whatever they call it. There's two models. They don't have. It's not a red dot. It's not a red dot.
It looked like a little scope.
No.
What was it got? Illuminated reticle in it or something? Or
Well, the aiming section, you don't need to have it on to aim. It has in the glass. That's in the glass. A sight per se. It's like a round circle with a dot in the center, and then it has a line straight down. So you can sit it on the target, and there's a really tiny dot to sit on the target. When you turn on the light, whatever you want to call it, it's because it's not a laser point. It's not bouncing off the glass. It illuminates from underneath in the glass, and it only lights that circle and the stem up and down. So it's really not a dot. I mean, you go online and look at them. They have pictures of what it looks like.
Well,
It is an illuminated reticle.
all right. Let me say this about that. If you can get in touch with Full Ed Taco, he's the one that won it. So you can call him up and ask him how he likes it before you spend your money on it.
Well, I got all winter to make up my mind the way I look at it. It's a prism scope, right? Illuminated etched reticle. That's it. I just don't know all the terms. I'm not good with all the terms like you guys are. And it's a prism-based scope, so it's not a focus issue at all. And I mean,
yeah, there's scopes. There's some scopes like that I've had out that's illuminated reticle, but they might have the little plus right in the center, and they start burst on me.
The bad thing or the negative thing about prisms is the limited eye relief. Most of the time, it's not long enough for a rifle. I mean, a bolt action rifle or a single shot. They're made for AR style where you can get that scope really close to your eye.
That's what this one was designed for. And it does look like a little bitty scope about that long, but it's, got.
it's like 5.5 inches long.
Both of the ends are about the same diameter. And
what kind of power are you wanting on one?
Well, I'm not looking for crazy power, but because I'm really not shooting any distance with it. But they have Monstrum has the ones that have 5 times magnification. So
yeah, I was going to suggest. I think Monstrum has some that's around 5 pounds or something, or 5 times, and I think they have a green one.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They have one that has the green and red, but that's $169. Oh no, the Vortex is a strike. The Strike Fire 2 is $165, and it's red and green. I don't know.
I really like the greens. They've been really good to me.
Well, yeah. I only own one red dot, and it's on. Well, actually, I own 2, but one's a real low end, nothing, just to play with. But the one I have on my Dan Weston is I forgot what brand it is. 6 Sigma.
Romeo 5?
No, yeah, Romeo. No, it's not that level. It's cheap. It's like $129. I bought it based off Uncle Jim. That's all, and I put that on the Dan Weston, and I don't need it the brightness turned up that much. And if I wear my driving glasses, they have better lenses for my astigma, and the dot's almost perfect. So on my, and I had someone else who shoot my Dan Wesson Wednesday, some lady I know from work years ago. We bumped into each other at the range, and she's fairly new. She only owns one gun, and she's looking. She wants to buy a revolver. She's looking at an Anaconda, whatever they call them, a 357. She says, but I don't know if I can afford that stuff. And I said, well, I pulled out the Dan Wesson because my pistols were packed up already. I was done with that. And she went through a box of 50 of my 170 grain semi-wide cutter Zincs, which was 113 or whatever they are, 103, whatever they are. She was shooting that, and she was having a blast. You never shot a red dot before either, so she was having a good time. She says, I like this. And I said, you're hooked. Don't settle for less. I told her, don't settle for less if you if you can't afford a Colt Python, okay, or an Anaconda, if you can't afford those, then save your money for it because you don't want to buy it twice.
Yeah, one other thing I'll say about the red dots and flaring is, generally speaking, a lot of people will tell you that you can't buy your way out of problems, but I've got a number of aim points, which are 2 and 3 times the dollars that we're talking about for most of the optics we're talking about here, and not a single one of those flare. I've got a Leopold, doesn't flare a bit. So you get up there and you get better glass, you get better coatings, and you don't see as much flaring.
Well, I was dealing with my problem with the red dot. I took it off my pistol and I put it on the rifle at the point in time when I got the Rossi, and at 25 yards. It's covering my half-inch black dot, so I can't tell where I'm aiming. Yep. So that's one of the things that, looking at these things, they're actually an outline sight, like it's almost like a peep sight. And I thought that would be better.
Not for nothing, Andy. I'll box up that Leopold and send it out to you. You try it and see how you like it.
I may not get to use it for a while. I don't know what the weather's going to do.
It's not stupid money like the aim points, but it's expensive. But you try it and see, because that has a really, really fine dot, and it's really good, clean glass, and it's a nice setup.
Yeah. Like I said, I hate you to send it to me, and I was sitting on it for 6 months before I even get to shoot it.
Andy, what MOA was that dot you was using? A 5 MOA or
2?
Uh-huh.
It's a 2 MOA.
2 MOA, and it's covering up your.
It's a half-inch dot at 25 yards. So 25 yards, it's the dot's covering up at 50 yards. Forget it. You can't even come close to hitting the target.
I had that Leopold on a 450 Bushmaster, and I could shoot about 4-inch troops at 200 yards with it with a red dot.
Well, again, I'm only shooting 50-yard targets max most of the time. I'm just blinking, having fun. I mean, I'm shooting for accuracy, obviously, and the red dot. I mean, what I have is I only paid $99 for it. It's like $140 normally, and it was on sale, and I bought it. And I figured I bought it actually for the Rossi. He said, if I don't like it, I can put it on the Dan Wesson, which I'll like better than the cheaper piece of junk I bought for $29 to see if I can even use a red dot. And I really, I love, I just can't, the Rossi's just disappointing because I can't, it's too hard to get your eye 100% on that little 3/4 inch opening on the back that you're trying to aim through. That's 8 inches away from your eyeball.
Yep.
So and the Spitfire, the Monstrum, and the Vortex, it looks like it's an easy 1 inch or bigger. Your viewfinder, whatever you want to call it, and it's like, it looks like it'd be much easier for my eye to pick it up. So that's what's leading me on that trail at the moment.
Okay, it's time for us to go through the side chat and welcome all of our viewers in here. Uh, Walter, keeping in mind the topic for this evening, what do you recommend we type in?
Muted.
Put in sharp.
All right. And of course, Walter is first in. He's also on the panel and in the side chat. And they're gone, but don't fear. I don't need an up arrow. I've got them out. I know. It's old, isn't it? CW Longshot was next. He's also on the panel and the side chat. So is Andy 79Z28. We got Tactical Fuds out there. Glenn Davis, 6-shooter Texan, is also on the panel. Ricky Baird is out there. My brother. Papa's Place is out there. Old one guy. Good to see you, buddy. We got Dwayne 7834, Duffer 426. Mark Thomas is on the panel in the side chat. We got Tactical Fud, Bobby Barlow. Michael Dunn is out there. M. Gabriel, Vanessa Kitty, Andre D'Angelo, Amadad's out there. Edward Petty, Ricky Barrett again, 3-shooter, 3 Jeep Discovery, GGW Outdoors, Go Dogs, Alaska One Andy, Fuku YT, welcome in, Boom, Hillbilly Ups out there. Reloading from the Hot Pot is on the panel and the side chat. There's the Rebel Mike Hester. We got Ron 2A Matters is out there. Tim S. Bama Dad. Let's see who else we got that we hadn't already called. Walks Fletcher is out there. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. And Ms. Hotshot is out there. Let's put that up there. 67 Rebel SST AMC. Welcome in this evening. Ms. Hotshot again. And I think that's all. Miss Kitty is out there. Did I call her name?
You just did.
I did again. She deserves to. And there's some of you guys out there, some of those names that we called, been with us for such a long time. And I just really appreciate y'all more than you know. And I mean, back when we had like 20, 22, 24 viewers, those guys were out there. So, and we've almost doubled that in just 6 years. Wow.
Guys, look at this. My birthday's coming up, and Ms. Hotshot went out there and picked me up 4 molds.
Wow. Those are handy.
Very nice. They are handy. I keep one under my pot for drips.
Yep, me too.
I do too.
Yep.
But casting ingots, it's always good to have more.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of them. Yep.
Oh yeah, you got to wait too long for them to cool down before you use it again.
Yeah.
That's why I make muffin molds.
Yeah, I got 3 ingot molds now. Now I got 7.
Perfect.
So I won't be waiting for them to cool down very long by the time I get through them.
What I like about those are the half-pound ingots in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're handy.
I like them for tin.
Yeah.
And pewter. Yep.
I just wanted to share that.
Well, that's very
Very nice.
cool.
You shouldn't have to buy any more tin of lead. I mean, tin of pewter. Just let me know.
Have we heard from Mark yet?
Mark.
I'm here. Sorry, I was late. Been an eventful evening. I was just slipping a pizza in, and the oven decided not to work anymore.
Oh, boy.
No.
Tried to,
Start to grill.
well, I tried to get the igniter cleaned up, and was no go. So had to do those. They were little hand pizzas in a pan. But I'm here. Glad to be here. Beautiful week. Been looking forward to it. Been a long one. I'm hoping to hang out here a little bit and hoping I stay awake for the whole show.
Comfortable chair, full belly. Yep, I can see it. I can see it now.
Good and tired.
You make us
Long
laugh,
week at
Leather
school.
Man.
I hope so. Make myself laugh.
Okay. Tonight's topic, we've seen a few videos, and well, I think this is an actual progression off of the show we did about the 22 LR challenges that all the guys. That was a great show. We had some great guests on that night, and I feel like that will be revisited before very much longer. But we had a couple of videos on YouTube and probably on Rumble as well about a new cartridge that Winchester has come out with. I've got a video queued up. Would y'all like for me to share that?
Yes,
Sure.
Let me see if I can do this. Winchester. Well, I'll just share the video.
Winchester is just not good at marketing these new cartridges. Plus, this was SAMI approved a year ago, and then nothing happened, and then now they've just released it. Gets weirder still, right? Winchester's releasing this cartridge. Winchester makes firearms. They don't make any firearms for this new cartridge. The cartridge is they partnered with Savage, who's released a few. So the cartridge is called 21 Sharp, and it's intended to be a replacement for your 22 long rifle. Now that's big news because 22 long rifle, 1 in 5 cartridges made in the United States is a 22. And so if we can make an update to the 22, that's a pretty big deal. Now this, when I saw it, I thought, whoa, like it's actually really smart what they did. So one of the big problems with the 22 is the bullet that's required. It requires what's called a heeled bullet or a rebated back to the bullet, the actual lead bullet that goes in the brass. Because the lead bullet you'll see on there is just as wide as the brass underneath. And so the lead has to come in a little bit, and that's where it actually seats into the case. Now that is going to, hurt the ballistic performance of that bullet by kind of a lot. And so now that people are really trying to get into more precision 22 long rifle and shooting them further than they were ever intended just for fun, it creates an interesting opportunity. So now what Winchester did that I think is genius is instead of changing into a totally new cartridge, they used the same chambering and everything else works in the same magazines, but now they made the bullet go down to .2105 caliber instead of a traditional 22 long rifle bullet that's more like 223, 2.2235, something like that. And so it's a very interesting cartridge that I think is going nowhere because I don't understand why we aren't marketing this thing, like why they aren't pushing it if they went through all the trouble of inventing it. Like they won't even respond to calls about, like I'm trying to put information, they won't, no response to calls, very few rifles made for it. They, said higher BC bullets, but no data on what that is. It was baffling. So 2 new cartridges released. One creates a little bit of a furor online, and the other one just leaves me with so many questions. Thanks everybody for joining us in this video. See you in the next one.
So backfire's a little bit negative there, and I get it. I understand that, but I also understand what he's talking about for the need for an upgrade in the 22 long rifle cartridge. According to the interweb, which is always right, J. Stevens Arms and Tool Company introduced the 22 long rifle cartridge in 1887.
Wow.
And
Been around for a minute.
yeah,
Mhm.
it owes its origin to the 22 BB cap of 1885 and the 22 short of 1857. So
Interesting.
yeah, and how are you doing, Pat?
Long week, but I am glad to be here, even though I am late. How you doing, gentlemen?
Good out this way, Pat.
Better than we deserve.
Hey, Dad's got a good question out there.
The answer to that is no. According to Ron Spomer Outdoors, who I trust.
Yeah, it won't even fit in the chamber. It won't even fit in the gun.
Oh, it won't chamber, huh? I would have thought that it would have chambered, but it would rattled down the barrel and just been extremely inaccurate.
No, the 22 long rifle is bigger.
Okay. Well, yeah,
you're
the
thinking
bullet
the other
is.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
A 21 in a 22. Yeah, it would fit.
It would fit.
Yeah, because the case is the same.
But the bullet's a smaller diameter,
bullet's
so
smaller,
it's not going to engage
no
the rifling.
No accuracy.
And what we would see is you're going up against the mighty 22 LR. Gird your loins. Good one, Mike. You'll have better ballistic coefficient with the 21 sharps, but you're going to have a tighter barrel. You're going to have a smaller diameter barrel, and I think the way it looked, and I watched the Ron Spomer video, is it looked like the exact same case, only the bullet actually slips down inside the case like a traditional. That would mean that you'd have a different chamber.
That's what Winchester said in their little video, that it was the same case.
Yeah.
Although you might be able to mark 21, so they're making special cases for it, but to the same dimensions as a long rifle.
Right.
It was. They said it kept the cost down.
Yeah. Easier to make that bullet than a healed bullet, and so I wonder if you could. If I'm thinking they're going to use the same magazines. I don't know why they wouldn't use the same magazines, but maybe like for our Ruger 1022, maybe rebarrel it. Just get an aftermarket barrel and 21 sharp and stick it on there.
That's what Ron was saying, because there's so many of your 22s, the barrels are so easily swapped. It's basically a clamp. It ain't like you got to thread it and set headspace and all this other stuff. But Ron was shooting 5-shot groups at 50 yards, and they were all touching.
Wow. Yeah.
And he had the Savage Mark II in 21 sharps.
Turkey's Opinion has got a number of videos on the 21 sharps as well, and he shot it, and he's getting wonky accuracy.
Oh.
Yeah. So probably gun related, maybe a little bit shooter related, but I mean, he's shot some really good groups, so he's capable. And of course, Ron can shoot as well. So I think it's more that particular firearm.
Yeah, and you got to remember, all this stuff is brand new.
It's brand new, and it it is made by Winchester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Automatically comes in a white box. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Give it a year, then before you buy one, let everybody else test it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have a 22 TCM if I was going to buy something like that. Which I was close to almost buying one for the wife. And I'm glad I didn't, because she doesn't want to shoot much anymore. So
yeah, I thought about it myself for Sandy, but she didn't want to compete in any of those things, so I never did it.
I mean, at least you can make your brass and you can reload it. So you can obviously cast bullets for it. And I would put zincs in them, and they would be really flying.
Boy, I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, you little zinger.
Ron got some very impressive groups out of his, and like Six said, you got brand new cartridge, brand new data and tooling and everything else. And who's to say the rounds that Winchester is selling uh, is consistent? Yeah,
Is it match grade?
yeah. It would be nice though if it caught on a little bit and you were able to get the barrels for like 1022s and your Savage Mark twos and stuff like that. And
STZ 457s and all the switch barrel stuff.
yeah, and you would be able to. And then if it took off a little bit, you'll see other manufacturers jump into the bandwagon for making ammo. It'd be nice to have some Federal Premium or some Hornady.
Yeah. All I can say is, gentlemen, good luck to you, but that's going to be a hard road to hoe.
I don't know, man, because of all the precision shooters out there now doing the 22s. Everybody's looking for precision. Everybody's looking to get tighter and tighter groups and tighter groups and tighter groups. So I think this 21 might kick off in the precision shooting world. And if it does, here comes the barrels, and here comes other manufacturers of ammo.
But will it be allowed unless they make another class for it?
Well, wouldn't it still be classified under 22?
Maybe. I mean, a lot of them says 22 long rifle only.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work for bullseye that I shoot.
Yeah, it's going to have a market that it can fill in order to catch on. And I'm with you, Gene, on that. If it can catch on at least somewhere in some place, especially like precision or something like that, if they'll allow it in, then yeah, it's got a chance. But for the everyday shooter, like, most of us here, who's to say? I mean, it's, we've all seen Wildcat rounds come and go, and, like Valkyrie and stuff like that. And, it just.
No, we've seen Sammy approved and spec'd out cartridges fail.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Backfire was discussing there was the 6.8 Western that Winchester developed and released. And I was kind of excited about that because I'm a 277 kind of guy, I like my 270 Winchester. And CW explained to me the difference and why it would fit a different niche than the 270. And yeah, what you guys that shoot some of these challenges, Six and CW, what would y'all think about it? Would you be interested in giving it a try?
I'd probably give it a try, especially if it could be as simple as a barrel for the 1022, or a Savage. I've been looking for an excuse to try one of the Savage heavy barrels. So I would give it a try. But my biggest negative with it is it's Winchester. And I just don't. Winchester has a reputation that was born, 50, 60 years ago. And the Winchester today is nothing like the Winchester that we grew to respect and, love the Winchester name.
That's just in that video he was talking about Winchester makes guns. Well, they're not the same company anymore. They're two separate companies.
Yeah, and Winchester rimfire in general hasn't been used in bullseye circles in 50 years. Just nothing. Because it's too many duds. Too many misfires, too many inaccuracies. But I can say the same thing about Remington and Federal too.
Yeah.
cartridge would need to gain enough popularity to come out from other manufacturers also, and to have some choices on the ammo shelves and the gun shops for people to get out and try.
The Super Magnum, the WSM, is only made by Winchester, and you don't see it around. Like
No.
Mike mentioned there, the 17 Mach 2. Now that's chambered by a number of companies, and it's loaded by CCI, Ely, and I don't believe Winchester chambers that one or makes that cartridge. I think it's just CCI and Remington, CCI, Ely. I know those three do. I don't know if Federal does, but that's pretty much dead. It's I am seeing new ammo, so they're still making ammo, but I don't know if there's any guns chambered for it in quite a few years. Great little caliber, but you just don't see them. The HMRs took over the 17 market. Lions get the lion's share for sure.
That right there will hold it back.
Yeah.
$25.
But if it proliferated, those costs would go down tremendously, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so if that's that much for just the Winchester brand, when some of these other companies jump in and start doing some, competition ones, it's going to be higher than that, more than likely, because it is on. I mean, you can get $20 easy for a box of 50 22 long rifles right now. If you get match grade or something, and so I wonder what those are going to be. $40, a box or more. I mean, like that'll make a difference too.
Yeah, those 52s seem awesome.
Yeah, I've had my eye out for a while. Darn Chad over there got me rolling, looking again. A video out a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, on one that he found.
So, Garage Guy, you shoot that 22 long rifle a lot. What would you think about trying the? Probably not much after you wouldn't be too interested after spending that kind of money on a Smith. And me and Garage Guy, I wish we lived closer. It'd be great to go watch the game with him Saturday. Those of you who are not into football or college football, Georgia Tech plays Virginia Tech this weekend. Down here, we call Georgia Tech the North Avenue Trade School, but they're one of the premier engineering schools in the country. And I've had good friends that went to Georgia Tech, so I kind of pull for them when I can. That's one of them kind of back of your mind, kind of hope they do well kind of things. There's only one time I pull against them all year, and that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And we'll never be pulling for them on that day. Look at Edward Petty go, dude.
With the U-Nerdle.
Yeah.
That's got to be a sweet rifle, man.
Yeah. Imagine 1938. Probably still shoots like it was new.
Well, I think it's probably a Swiss watch.
Bama dad. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm thinking that this might be a more accurate version of the 22 long rifle. What if it worked better? That's why you're open for new things, right, Garage Guy?
Well, they
It,
might.
it
Would they
should.
shoot a
I mean,
revolver?
it's got the pedigree to. It solves the problems of the rimfire of the long rifle, or the shortcomings, I should say.
Well, they would probably shoot in a revolver, and it's not going to be as accurate out far away, but for 10 yards, it probably ain't going to be that much of a difference with it.
I wouldn't imagine that close, no.
We've got Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog in the house. Welcome, brother.
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you out there.
Bulldog. I didn't ask, but my audio's okay.
Yeah,
it's
you're
been good.
wild,
You're clear.
wild, man.
5 by 5.
Awesome. Well, okay, since we were talking about the 21 Sharp versus the 22 LR, does anybody know the reason why they came out with the 17? Was that supposed to be kind of the answer to the more accurate version of small caliber rounds? Or why was the main reason that they came out with the 17? I never have heard that story.
Hornady brought it out just as a 17 popularity. The 17 Remington, the 17 Fireball, the 17 Hornet. It was just a progression to bring it into rimfire where it can be cheaper, and it really, really took off. If you remember when it first came out, it was super crazy accurate. And it still is. It's a very accurate cartridge, mostly because it's
Fast, yeah.
mostly because Hornady makes it. A little better tolerances, a little better machinery, a little better, whatever Winchester doesn't choose to do, makes it better than Hornady.
Yeah, because the main reason I asked is because we got my dad a 17 about, it's probably been a good 10 years ago, with the Savage Bull Barrel. And, man, that thing shoots, and he carries it in his pickup every single day. And that thing shoots lights out. I mean, it's got full synthetic stock and everything on it, and he doesn't baby it, but man, he's got a nice little 6-power scope sitting on top of it, fixed. That's what he likes, non-adjustable. And man, that thing is it's a butt stomper out to about 75 yards as far as pure accuracy. That thing's like drilling holes in the exact same pattern. So, good little rifle, but didn't know any history behind it when we got it for him. So I was just kind of curious.
It was developed in 2002.
I got a couple friends that's got them. They love them.
Yeah, it'll turn a squirrel inside out at 75 yards. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot left of them.
One of my son-in-law has one, and yeah, it'll shoot the eyes out of a squirrel, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I've got a couple in 17.
I like that little Mach 2 as a squirrel gun. It doesn't shoot them up, blow them up as bad as the HMR, but it's every bit as accurate, and it's a lot more confidence inspiring on headshots and stuff, because it's your regular 22s are accurate, but they're not as accurate as the 17s. And when that 17 came out, I bought a H&R single shot, and I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to be any big thing. After I shot it a little bit, and I've told this story before. I was on a range and we were shooting, and private range. I shooting. I think it was 50 yards, and there was a guy there sitting across from me, maybe 5 or 6 benches down, shooting with a 30 carbine, and I was just over there giggling away, shooting, giggling because I was shooting. I was waiting for him to shoot, and I would shoot through his bullet holes. And we got to talking, and he told me I was, full of crap. And I said, no, it really shoots good, And he's, yeah. So we switched guns. I shot his, and he shot mine. And now there he is over there giggling because it just shoots that good. And what I decided to do was every time I went in a gun store and, shopping, stopping in, whatever, I would buy a box or 3 of Mach 2 ammo. And before long, course of a year, I had a couple, 4 or 5 bricks of Mach 2 ammo on the shelf. And I don't shoot it that much. So I've got, that 3 or 4 bricks that I got is lifetime supply for that one little single shot. And I have no problem. I don't mind that I went 5 or 6, 7 years with not seeing any ammo and only just starting to see it again in the last year or so. It's if you don't know, the Mach 2 was a Stinger case, a CCI Stinger case. So it's a little longer than a long rifle, which is why if you've got any match chambered long rifles,
it won't work.
Almost always say no Stinger ammo. And the reason for that is the Stinger case will actually be into the rifling. And when you shoot it, you're good, that case is going to expand into the rifling. It could create pressure problems, damage the firearm, and those sort. So when they made the Mach 2, they made it on the Stinger case, so it's a little bit longer to get just a little more powder capacity. Aguila made a cartridge that not a lot of people know about. I don't remember what it was called. A lot of people thought it was just a Mach 2, but it's not. It uses a long rifle case, so it's got a little bit shorter neck. Similar ballistics. It ought to be safe to shoot, but I don't. You want to shoot the caliber that's designated on your barrel.
Yeah.
But I don't believe it's got the same name, and you never, ever, ever see it. It was made by Aguila only. They don't make any firearms, so I don't know what they intended it to be used in or for. But it does exist out there.
Cool, very cool. Gene, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Wow, it's 9 o'clock already. Wow.
It's time for What's Hot Pot
Got.
Got.
He's got something sticking to his patch.
Get that to focus in. Come on. You focused for me earlier. There we go.
There we go.
This is, I'm going to back it up now. This is a 17 Hornet. Since we're on the small calibers tonight, I just happened to pick this up out of a batch that came in from Colorado. Only found a couple of them, but this is a really, really, really cool little round. It's a centerfire cartridge chambered in .17. And I'm going to read you a little bit about it here. The 17 Hornet is a 17 caliber centerfire rim cartridge originally offered as a Wildcat cartridge, developed by P.O. Ackley in the early 1950s. He created this non-factory Wildcat offering by simply necking down a 22 Hornet to a 17 caliber and fire forming the resized cases in his new chamber design. The result was a small, quiet cartridge capable of high velocity. Ackley mentioned it as one of the most balanced of the 17 cartridges of his time. Likely, this is still true. The ballistics on this, the mass 20 grain, you get a velocity of 3,500. Bullet grain of 25 is 3,100, and 30 grain is 2,900. Now, listen to this. 60 years ago, the Hornaday Manufacturing Company, Grand Island, Nebraska, or I'm sorry, 60 years later, Hornaday turned Ackley's idea into a commercial product with a similar cartridge. The 17 Hornaday Hornet uses a 20 grain Superformance V Max projectile with a published velocity of 3,600 plus FPS. So in honor of tonight, pulling out the small stuff.
Good deal. Good deal.
We're also at Republic Ammunition. We're still doing the club feature. We got a lot of people that have joined up so far. So what it is, it's one fee for 1 year of free hazmat shipping. That's powders, primers, as much as you want to get. It's free hazmat. Now you still have to pay the shipping charges, but the hazmat will be knocked off of there when you do join the club. Really happy to announce that. And he's also working on right now on doing some, once we have enough club members, and actually doing like monthly drawings for gift cards and or product. So he's still kind of working the fine details of that out to get everything situated. And it's just going to depend on how many people join the club. So come and join the Republic Ammunition Club. Get you some free hazmat. Well, you'll pay for it. But if you get a lot of stuff, it pays for itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. You know, we don't sell anything around here, but we try to keep y'all updated on the deals that we know about.
Yeah, I do not sell ammunition or firearms. I work at a company that does, that is licensed to sell.
Well,
but I do not personally handle any sales.
right. And we don't sell anything on well, we don't sell anything. We ain't got nothing to sell. What we have is ours, and it's not for sale. You're not going to get it. So, you know what you guys do over there. That's. But that being said, if you do shotgun, Ballistic Products has got a flat rate shipping right now of $3.99 on orders over $50. Monstrum Tactical has a good deal on. Well, we get a different great deal from them every week if you're signed up for their stuff. Mid-South has free hazmat with $100 purchase right now. Not trying to get your competition any publicity, Gene, but they also have they do a spotlight cartridge every week, so you can get some deals on different size bullets and that kind of stuff. And Mid-South is pretty cool to deal with if you want to. Also, we might want to talk with then. Yeah, we'll get in trouble if we did that. But while we're talking about that, NOE Bullet Molds has a sale that they have a spotlight bullet mold that they have a sale on every week. And if you sign up, you'll get that email. And I think this week was a 44 180 grain round nose flat point. I think pretty cool stuff. But
yeah, that's what it was.
And guys, we don't sell anything. We ain't making no money. We're just trying to help y'all, and y'all been so good to us. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we try to help y'all? There's Mr. Pollard. Welcome in, James.
Hey, James.
Hi to James. Oh.
We've been talking about the new 21 Sharps caliber. There was also one, I think it was 338 ARC that Hornady came out with.
Yeah, they announced it last week, I think. But yeah, coming out next year.
And its direct competition is that 8.6 Blackout, I think.
Yep. That same video that Jamie showed from Backfire actually has about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes before they talk about the 21 Sharps, where he talks about the 338, if you want to look that up. And there's a number of other videos out about the new 338 ARC. They're basically its claim to fame against the 8.6 is the fact that the 8.6 uses a Creedmoor case, so it's a lot bigger around and a little bit longer, and it requires, in a semi-auto, it requires an AR-10, where the 338 ARC is designed and more friendly to the AR-15, a smaller, lighter firearm. And one of their claims is that it's more judicious with its powder. It's better suited for subsonics, not as efficient in supersonics. It's kind of arguable, but I understand what they're saying.
Yeah, we don't want to leave out our buddy the Rebel. He owns Bullseye Sporting Goods in Vail, North Carolina. So if y'all are anywhere close to Vail, North Carolina, go check out Mike if you need anything reloading or firearm or ammunition wise, and optics. He has some pretty nice scopes over there too.
And of course, the 338's competition is also the little 300 AAC Blackout, and its claim to fame is it's able to shoot heavier bullets at the same velocities, because we're all dealing with subsonic. Subsonic is the same based on your elevation, 1050, 1070. It's in that range. So if you can shoot a heavier bullet at the same velocity, you're going to carry more energy. You're going to be a little better at distance because it's going to carry that energy a little bit farther. So with the Blackout, although you can shoot 250, 260 grain bullets, it's really closer to 220, 240 for a heavyweight bullet, where the 338 can give you up 250 without a problem, or more, 300. I think it's coming out with a 310 or a 307, which is substantially better than what the Blackout can do. And again, at the same velocity. And you say, what is that for power? Well, let's look at some other comparable cartridges, like say the 44 Magnum. 44 Magnum with a 300 grain bullet is in that realm. It's 1100. In a handgun, maybe a little less. In a rifle, maybe a little more. And who wouldn't hesitate to shoot, let's say, a deer or a pig or a hog with a 44 Magnum at 100 yards? So the fact that the 338 has subsonic in its name shouldn't really scare you away, because it's probably going to be a more accurate platform, especially if you're going to do it in a bolt action rifle. So, it brings a lot to the table for a medium short, light-skinned hunting cartridge. It's going to have light recoil, low report. With a suppressor, it's going to be really quiet. You could do the same with a 44, but it's not probably going to be as efficient. So it's an interesting cartridge.
What, 300 Blackout?
The 338 ARC.
Yeah, another difference is that 6.8 Blackout is built out of the 6.5 Creedmoor case, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it is. Yep.
And you'll need an AR-10 size rifle for that, whereas with this new one from Hornady, the AR-15 will work. You may have to get another bolt.
Yeah, it would require a bolt change unless you were coming from the Grendel. If you were going to put it on a Grendel, you would just have a barrel change. So if you're coming from a 223 556, you'd need a bolt and a barrel, and probably a magazine.
Probably.
Yeah, you can definitely do it with a couple of rounds, but if you want to load 10, 20, 30, whatever, you'd need another magazine.
All right, so we don't have a lot of time left before the first of the week, but let's you guys that hunt, let's what do you deer hunt with, Six?
I don't know. I shoot all kinds of stuff. I use 44s, 7BR, 270, 30-30s, 308 air rifles. Whatever I feel like taking.
Hillbilly?
A lot of the go-to around here is 30-30 or 30-06. Is a lot of people use. This year I actually want to take 300 blackout and try it. So,
And I will add something to what CW was saying earlier about 300 blackout, and something you probably already know, Hillbilly. They're shockingly accurate.
and yeah, it can do that with a 10 and a half inch barrel too. I mean,
It's designed around 8.5 is designed around. It's actually a pistol caliber.
mm-hmm.
It's not a rifle caliber. It's a pistol caliber, but it does really well in the carbines and such. I've shot probably a dozen deer with it. It works really good. As long as you're inside 100 yards. I wouldn't push it past 100. You'll hear lots of arguments, but
Right.
I have actually had it fail at 160 yards. Fail.
Yeah.
It didn't go in. It bounced off a shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
So I won't shoot it past 100 yards.
You got to limit to what caliber you're shooting. You got to limit yourself.
Yeah.
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 What do you think, Andy?
Sorry, I'm really not paying attention. I'm researching the scopes. It's past my bedtime already, so the wife's going to be yelling. So I guess we'll wish everybody a good night and a great week. And whoever's on tomorrow, Uncle Jim's having his Halloween night. So we should have some fun tomorrow night. And that's about it.
All right, Andy. Good night.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Good night,
Good night, Andy.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good one, Andy.
Night, Andy.
Mike Hester, favorite 300 blackout sub 90 grain XTP with trail
Yeah.
bombs.
That's a good little bullet. It was designed for the 30 carbine, and it does really, really well in the 300 blackout, especially with trail boss. It's very quiet, very accurate, and on small game, it's deadly.
Mock says he's using 30-30 this year. Good deal. AR, Mr. Pollard's got 5.56, 300 blackout, and 6.5 Grendel. And he was plinking with his 30-30 today. Walks Fletcher, my favorite hunting cartridge is the 270 Winchester, the finest cartridge in the whole wide world.
How did we know he was going to say that?
Bar none.
Big surprise there.
Yeah.
I agree with him. It's hard to beat. Mike Hester, 6.5 Grendel, 300 blackout, 6 bench rest, 308, blah, 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 blah. Well, whatever you feel like toting out there, huh?
I might take the Weiss lightweight 243 this year.
There you go. Hey, Gizzard. Bye, Gizzard.
Bye, Felicia.
So, Mark, where are you going deer hunt with this year?
I'm going to vary it a little bit. Of course, I got that old single shot 308 that I love so much. Have my dad's Game Master 760 and 308. Might take that out once or twice. Definitely taking the 35 Remington. And if I want to go and I just want to carry something light, I'm going to take that little Model 94 32 Special. I would love to take a deer with that.
That would be so cool.
Yes, sir.
Had a guy at the range. Had a guy at the range a couple of weeks ago. He was sighting in one of those.
He was catching his brass before it hit the gravel. What? Yeah, 308's good cartridge. I mean, it ain't 270 Winchester good.
You guys are rifle racists.
The little blackout is just so nice because it's you don't even get scope blackout with it. You know, you can see what's going on. You can literally shoot quarters, especially if like hunting around here is close range stuff. And Jamie's about the same. You know, everything is if you're not inside 100 yards, it's pretty rare. And even then, you're inside 50 more than you're outside of it. So the blackout is you don't need anymore. You know, as long as you're a hunter and not a shooter, you know, you're going to wait for a calm animal. You're going to pick your shots. The blackout is beautiful.
Yeah. Just like I said last year, you know, I shot that. I shot 2 deer, one with a 30-06 and one with a 308 air rifle. Both bullets weighed 150 grains. Both deer dropped dead in their tracks.
Yeah, we were shocked. We started with it about 2011, and between the 3 people that I know that hunt with it, we've probably got about 3 dozen deer, and not one single deer was lost. And the only deer that ran was one of mine, and my fault. I shot through 2 limbs, and the bullet went back and hit him back a little bit far. But we tracked him, and I was able to walk up on him in 50 yards and dispatch him. So nothing was lost, and I'm going to say a couple might have gone out of our view before they expired. But most of them were take a step and fall over or DRT. It works fine as long as you do what you're supposed to do. You know, put your bullet where it's supposed to go.
Pat, where are you going to hunt with this season? Mosin?
Well, yes, I'm going to throw the oddball, and I may do it with Dad's 270 BAR this year. I'm not sure yet, but there is some ammunition that I am going to try out because it's World War II sniper grade, straight out of the stripper clip, right there. So it's been performing pretty good. I've got it sighted in with this ammo from World War II. So I'm really hoping, man, it'd just be so awesome if I could get a deer with some World War II sniper ammo just to say I did.
That's going to be an old deer.
Yeah, pretty much. But anywho, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Either the Dad's 270 or the Mosin Nagant in 7.62 by 54R. So that's what I'm really hoping for. I'd really like to do that just to say I did it.
Well, I hope you come home from shooting that and take that gun in there and clean it right away. Because that stuff has got to be.
Yeah, it's not the nicest on barrels and actions and stuff. So yeah, you got about. I give myself 2 days, and I've never had any problems with it as long as I clean it within the first 2 days. Never had any problems, even with my old beater one. Never had any rust form up. So always been good. I just give it a little scrub with ammonia, and she's fine.
There you go.
I can't shoot the stuff I'm hunting, but the weapon of choice probably going to be my Platinum Visa card, but just saying.
That's DEAR.
Best answer I've heard all night.
Notice he didn't brag about the caliber of the weapon either.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
California Casanova there.
Some things are just better left unsaid altogether, I reckon.
oh man, Mark, you missed it before we went on the air, buddy, and that's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah.
It was degenerative in here.
Well, I might be a little bit vulgar in saying this, but with that plastic card, it's the two-legged split tail, correct? Is that the one you're talking
No,
about?
it's actually the double-breasted mattress thrasher or something. I don't know. No, I'm not
Oh,
gonna say.
okay. All right. All right. I got you. I love you guys.
And now
We better get to the verse quick.
Yeah, too late for that now. Gene, what if you were deer hunting? What would you be hunting with this season?
Well, I don't deer hunt, but if I were, I'd take my 308. Not that I'm allowed to use that in Ohio. That's a no-no.
Yeah, I know, man. I've killed more deer with 35 Remington than anything, just because that's what I hunt with the most. I've had some really good luck with 350 Legend. I was very impressed with the way that it performed on deer. And
Now, when I did hunt as a youth with my grandfather, we took the 35 Remington.
I can see that. I've killed deer at 168 yards and 192 yards with 270 Winchester. So they are long shots around here to be had if you're hunting over hay fields, which is basically the food plot of the whole ecosystem. You know, they'll come out there and they particularly love it after you cut that hay, like right about now, and then give it a week or two and let it get green and start coming up. They love that green tender grass. And dude,
They will come running for that. That's the same way it is out here. You cut alfalfa or clover or anything like that, give it in a week. Those young sprouts coming back up, ooh-wee, man, you can't keep the deer off of it.
and not just that, man. It's you prepare your deer correctly. It's hard to tell it from beef. I'll put it like that. Glenn, I'm using the 180 grain Winchester PowerPoints, and Winchester deer season. But my load this year is going to be with and I've not tested this, is the reason I hadn't told you. I've shot the test rounds. I've not tested their performance on deer, but I'm going to be using a 160 grain Federal bullet that I got from American Reloading.
A fusion bullet, right?
Fusion. 160 grain fusion.
It's a good one.
So we got to get to the verse of the week, and then when we get done with that, we'll get to Walk's first question. First deer, first cartridge, first rifle. I'm thinking that's all the same thing. Okay, last week on the verse of the week, we talked about Proverbs chapter 1. We talked about we're talking about wisdom here, and it all stems from, I think it's verse 7, where it says the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, or the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And then last week we talked about laying in wait and evil company. And this week we want to talk about wisdom's call, or the call of wisdom. Verse 20 there in Proverbs chapter 1 reads that wisdom calls aloud outside. She raises her voice in the open squares. She cries out in the chief concourses at the opening of the gates in the city. She speaks her words. Verse 22. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? For scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn at my rebuke. Surely I will pour out my spirit on you. I will make my words known to you. All right, in this passage, Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, is referring to wisdom as a lady. She's crying out and trying to give you instruction. So we see her voice calling from the open squares. In other words, you know what she's going to tell you. You know what she's talking about. She cries out in the chief concourses at the opening of the gates in the city. I mean, it's available. All you got to do is ask for wisdom, and the Lord will bless you with it. Warren Wisby there says, the greatest tragedy is that there's so much noise that people can't hear the things they really need to hear. God is trying to get through to them with the voice of wisdom, but all they hear are the confused communications clutter, foolish voices that lead them farther away from the truth. And when we see outside in the open squares and the chief concourses, the gates of the city, wisdom presents herself to everyone in every place. She offers her help to anyone who will give attention to her words. And then when we get down here to verse 22, how long will you simple ones love your simplicity? We're talking about naive people here, to put it the best way I can figure it out here. The lady begins her appeal with addressing those who most need her help, the simple ones, those who are untrained in the ways of wisdom. So, how many more weeks, months, or years will the simple ones reject or neglect wisdom's help? And scorners there. The scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Scorn describes those who are boastfully rejecting and despising God's wisdom. They love their simplicity and scorn, and they hate knowledge. Scorners think they know everything and laugh at the things that are really important, while the simple ones have blank looks on their faces, and the scorner wears a sneer. Yeah. And the fools are the ignorant people. Fools are people who are ignorant of truth because they're dull and stubborn. Their problem isn't a low IQ or poor education. Their problem is a lack of spiritual desire to seek and find God's wisdom. And then she pours out her rebuke, and they scorn. So, questions, comments?
I think that when we're talking about the simple ones, that we're talking about people that are complacent but happy with their ignorance, and they're just, when she says, or when he says, how long are you going to enjoy that simplicity. Meaning, how long are you going to stay stupid? How long are you going to sit there and not let, wisdom, the wisdom that we're talking about here enter your life? Are you just going to sit there and be happy with what you got now? Look what you got. You got nothing. You're living too simply, and you're doing this to wisdom. You don't want it in. I think that's what the simple people are that he's talking about here. Those of you that are simple, that you're the ones that are happy being ignorant. How long are you going to stay that way? How good's it working for you now? It ain't, right? Well, then do something different. Get out and get wise. It's right there for you.
The scorners are the ones that concern me the most. They choose to look down their nose at a holy God.
Agreed.
Yep.
I'll go back even a little bit further on what Side Chat was saying as far as the communication goes, especially nowadays. I mean, you've got the internet and everything versus back when everything was simpler and you had more people going to church and stuff and reading the Bible. Yeah, for the people that have not read any of the words from the Bible or anything, yeah, there's a lot more clutter out there than there used to be. There's a lot more people going, oh, you need to go this direction. Oh, you need to go that direction and everything. And it's like, yeah, there's only really one direction. And that's right back to the Lord. I mean, that's one of the things that turned my life around about 25 years ago. And just relying on His word and cutting out all the BS that everybody tries to sell you online or on all these different platforms and stuff. And it's being able to cut through all that and get back to that. And that's what brought me back a long time ago. So anyway, just getting to the communication part of it. Anyway, good points, Viejo. I like that.
Absolutely. So, Walks put this in. First deer, first cartridge, first rifle. And then Bama Dad said Israel just bombed Iran.
Uh-oh.
Mike Hester says the Spike 30-06, Corlock 180. Mr. Pollard said first deer was with a 12-gauge slug on a 6-point.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Mark Thomas, first buck was with a bow, first gun, 300 Savage, model 99. That's just real man stuff right there. CW 4-point buck. 29-inch, 2512 aluminum arrow, Muzzy wasp head with a compound bow. 6-shooter Texan says a Winchester 94 on a small buck. Vanessa says stupidity kills more than anything else.
A good cartridge.
That's a good one. There's Ozark Spirit. What's going on, buddy? Wow. Listen, look at that wisdom. That's called woke. They're right on everything they believe and scoring all those that don't think like they do.
Right on point. Right
Yep.
there.
Man.
That's pretty clear-cut communication as far as I'm concerned right there.
Yeah.
Wrong neither. Mike Hester, first with a bow, 50-pound Martin recurve with a bear razor head at 25 yards. Y'all, you guys are getting my blood pumping. Walks 65, mule buck, 4x5, M17, 257 Roberts Hornady, 117 grain, dropped after 3 steps. I can still see it after 60 years.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to invent that download from our brains. I could
Right. That would be perfect.
Walter got a Forky with a 94 30-30. Still have the rifle. Yeehaw.
Yeah, mine
Go ahead, Hillbill.
mine was a 6-point with a 35 Remington lever action.
There
Nice.
you go. Good night, Bulldog. You're probably already gone by now. We love you, brother.
Good
Night, Senior
Bulldog.
Master Sergeant.
Good to see you.
buddy.
Night, Bulldog.
Duffer 426 6-point with a Revelation 243. GG.
That was a good question to pop up. There was just lots of good stuff coming up on that side chat.
Yeah, there is.
Mm-hmm.
Almost got a 10-point in Lake Tahoe with a 64 Chevelle.
Going, yeah. Only doing 50 miles an hour too, probably with the, headlights off.
Dale Poe got a doe with a 308 Savage Axis at 120 yards and 6-shooter Texan. My brother, right there. I know where he's going to be Saturday. I ain't been yet. Ours opened last Saturday, and I hadn't been hunting yet because it's still so dang warm over here.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going. They scheduled our big 2-day match, cowboy shooting opening weekend.
Oh man.
Well, you know how to show them. You know how to show them that's not a good idea.
Oh, they know it. They already know it.
Go sit in a tree stand instead of on the range.
Right.
They normally do the first weekend of December, and they moved it to the first weekend of November. And not only that, you've got Texas Ren Fest. We're right across the street from it, and the traffic is horrendous. So, hotels around here for people that's coming from out of town, usually are $75, $100. They're $400
Golly.
because of that Ren Fest.
That's some PPM right there.
So,
Price gap.
Right.
Piss poor management.
Mm.
I don't know what they'll do next year, but
What's it called? Rim Fest?
yeah, Texas Renaissance Festival.
Oh, Ren Fest. Okay.
Ours here is in August.
Dost thou have a giant turkey leg to eat?
September here.
Oh, yeah, it started 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe, and it runs up to the first weekend of December.
Yeah, ours is pretty long too. I want to say I don't think it's a month, but it's all of 3 weeks.
Oh yeah. Well, they finally got the highway going out there widened up, and then they've got another toll road that comes in from the other side now. The traffic's not as bad as it was. But
Still, go get yourself a big old turkey leg. Walk around.
I've lived out here for 24 years, and I've never been to it.
I tell you, it can be entertaining. I was first enlightened by a guy that worked for me, who was a vendor. He made chain mail.
Yep.
By hand.
Oh.
Yeah. You're nuts. But he got good money for it, and he was well known. And Sandy and I went out to see it, and it was, I tell you, it was entertaining. I'm going to go again. It was entertaining, and that turkey leg was good. giant turkey legs. What a great thing. They did a jousting.
Did you have all the axe throwing? Did you have all the axe throwing and star throwing too, CW?
Oh, they had everything like that. Like I said, we went to a dinner, and they had jousting at the dinner, and there's no utensils. Yeah. There's no knives and forks.
Yeah.
Wooden goblets. You're lucky you got your food in the plate, but it was good.
Oh yeah, they have all that out there. It's just never been my thing to go.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've never been. They've got one of the biggest ones in the country down in Atlanta. They even got this restaurant called Medieval Times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd rather go to Dolly's Dinner Club up in Pigeon Forge, but that's just me.
Well, I'd rather go cowboy shooting myself. So
there you go. Pollard dropped a 14-point with a Ruger 243 at 150 yards. It made one leap and piled up. That's a good dang deer right there, buddy.
Yep.
All right, we got to start going through the room. We got to clear the deck for
Lizard Gary.
Lizard Larry.
Yeah. Don't be negative, man. Always so negative.
Yeah, the cows go too. Goats, they all go. So don't, it's not just
horses. That's right. Quit picking on the dadgum horses, man. They're brainless enough as it is.
Trust me, you want you don't want to watch them explode, dude. Anyway, we're losing viewers like Grant took Richmond. With that, we'll let Mr. Hillbilly go first because he'll have to probably go over and help Gary.
Yeah, I don't know how much help I am over there. But anyway, appreciate you so much for having me. I always look forward to this, and just love being here on the panel. Great people on the panel, and then the side chat is awesome always, and so much fun to be here. I just appreciate y'all so much. If you're not doing anything tomorrow night, Saturday night, 9 o'clock Central and 10 o'clock Eastern, come by and see us at Guns, Beer, and Therapy. We try to have a good time over there also. So anyway, other than that, I just got some more videos coming out.
I'm not laughing at you,
coming out with the. Pardon?
I'm not laughing at you, buddy.
Okay.
Mike Hester are cracking me up over there.
I see that. I think we got some more videos coming out with the Bear Creek Arsenal's new Grizzly pistol. Really, really liking that. Enjoy shooting it. And I got another one or two of Hasbro's Hammer Time challenges coming up. So anyway, appreciate you guys having me as always.
It's big time fun, and guys, I will endorse the Guns, Beer, and Therapy is a fun time. It really is. I just wish it started earlier so I could stay on longer. But that's just me being selfish. Thanks for being here, Hillbilly. We appreciate you, man, more than you know.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Walter, you want to go next?
Sure. What do we got going on here? I've got the 3 video series going right now. We got Moldy Monday, Wad Cutter Wednesday, and Free the Few Friday. most of the good stuff's all on the Rumble channel. You guys know that. Most of you guys are over there one way or the other. So that's kind of what's going on in the shooting world. We got a couple range days coming up. We got social activities tomorrow night, so looking forward to that. Going to cast tomorrow. I picked up a couple of new old molds, a couple of old ideal, well, an old ideal mold and a Kramer wad cutter for 38 that I did not have, a number 19.
Those are good
And
molds.
so, yeah, I've only got a couple of them. You don't see them very often.
Yeah,
But
I've only
anyways, going to cast that one tomorrow. It's a 3-cavity Kramer. So we'll see how that goes. And again, just thrilled to be able to take part with this group of folks. And when I say that, we're including all you folks over there in the side chat. You guys are part of the whole production here. If it weren't for you guys, we say this all the time, but it's very true. If it weren't for you folks, there'd be no reason for us to be here. So I've really been enjoying my participation in here, and I know everybody else does as well, but it's need to say it and how much I appreciate the opportunity to be here. So that's what's happening here. SOS.
We appreciate you, man, and we appreciate you very much. And Papa's Place, I thought you heard my news for you. I was telling folks that you emailed me or texted me, or both. Yeah, we were emailing, then we started texting. Anyway, the code JH586SMS39, the code you see on your screen right now, has not expired from Discovery Optics. On their Amazon page, it's only redeemable for the MS339x40 scope, the one I did the review on. But on their website, on Discovery Optics website, that code JH586MS39 is valid on any scope you buy from them. And I hope that clarifies. It will work on Amazon, Papa's Place, only for that one scope, the MS339x40. But it works on any scope from their website. And you can give me a call tomorrow if you want to, buddy. I'll tell you about it. But that's what I got. Anyway, just trying to help out. We'll hide that. Anyway. Discovery Optics are our friends, man. Anytime we can save some folks some money, we're going to do it. So, Mr. Hot Pot, Gene, what you got coming up this week?
Oh, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I do have I got a USPSA shoot Sunday. That'll be fun. I'm going to go do the 300 yard tomorrow. But man, I want to thank you for having me on. I really enjoy getting to do What's Hot Pot Got. You get to bring something different to the table every week. Sometimes little, sometimes big. Just depends on the caliber, I guess. But man, just thanks for having me on. I really enjoy it. And like was said before, I'm really thankful for the side chat. It's all those people out there that make this show roll. And I really do appreciate all of them.
Me too, every single one of them. And while we're trying to help people save some money, we got the holidays coming up for too long. I'm sure if you go over to Gene's channel, you'll find lots of discount codes on a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you happen to follow me on X, I'm going to start posting all the discount codes I have over there on my little channel page on Twitter X. Because I can post all those over there and I won't get flagged.
And our brother Chris from 740 has a ton of them as well.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being here, Gene. We appreciate you. We look forward to what Hot Pot got every week. So, appreciate it.
I'm glad I can bring you all something.
Great stuff. What you got coming up, Pat?
Well, finally done with harvest. So thank God for that. All the cows are back home. Everything's weaned. So looking forward to things slowing down a bit. start making some more videos. I still got that big 460 sitting in the safe down here, so I've got a couple more ideas. Got the Aristaka that's ready to go now. Got some ammo for it. So going to be testing on that thing a little bit, but not very much because, wow, that ammo is expensive. But other than that, no, thanks for having me on tonight, Jamie, even though I was a little bit late. Just trying to get caught up on things around here. So that way I can get things quieted back down a little bit, be a little bit more regular, especially getting on shows and stuff like that. But as far as that, yeah, I've got some more video ideas and more stuff coming up, but just got to get that time and everything worked out. But anyway, thanks for having me on tonight's show. Always appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having me on. Like I said, it's my new home for Fridays. So I love hanging out with all you guys, everybody in the side chat. It's always a great time. And Mark Thomas Leatherworks, go!
Oh, been a great evening. Thanks for having me. Been wonderful to be here. Great side chat. What do I have coming up? I do have a few projects, a couple of things that I've been working on, little bits and pieces. As far as leather work, and yeah, we've got hunting season coming up. Bow season open, but I hadn't gotten out yet. Don't have enough time to practice with a compound, so that's only going to be crossbow. We got muzzleloader, and then of course rifle season. And Seth and I are both going to get out there, so hopefully we'll get some videos for that. But otherwise, we'll just see what happens. Been a great evening. Thanks for having me. Side chat's been just rocking and rolling. Been trying to keep up over there at the same time. So good night, all. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks for being here, Mark. We appreciate you, brother. Mr. Six Shooter Texan.
Hey, well, thanks for letting me back on again. So I ain't got much going on. We got cowboy shooting in the morning. If we get home in time, I'm going to try to do a video with some jug busting. I don't know how that's going to go, but we're going to try it. Other than that, ain't got much going on. Just working. So that's it for me.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Me and you going to have to talk about getting retired so we can do more what we want.
I'm ready.
Mr. CW Longshot, what do you got coming up this week, brother?
I got some more videos. I got been working with that little chipmunk pistol, having some fun. I video posted the other day. I had actually a couple of them with that hammer scope. Turned out to be a bust. I think it was just a lemon. I don't think it's a bad product. I think it's just a lemon. It just right out of the box, it wouldn't adjust for windage very far. And I thought it might have been the scope rings. If you watch the videos, it kind of explains everything. It turns out it just wouldn't adjust enough with the windage. But I was able to shoot some really, really, really good groups with a pistol at 50 yards that rivaled rifle stuff, from a lot of people, myself included. And so I ordered out a used Burris 7-power, fixed 7-power pistol scope that should be coming in probably by Monday. It says Saturday, but I don't think it's going to make it, but we'll see. And then got some more work with the 45 410. And I've been working with the 300 hammer. I got out to the range this week and got that dialed in. That's shooting really, really good with some game changers and with some Accubons. And that's probably going to be my number one or my first choice for deer hunting this year. And then probably the Grendel as a second. But we'll see how that goes. We're going to check out a new piece of property probably this weekend. I'm going to throw out a couple of cellular game cameras and see how things look over there. And doubt I'll do a video on that, but I want to get a couple other things done. I'm starting some betting on that pistol, that chipmunk pistol. So there's going to be some videos on that coming up. And I should have looked and see exactly what videos are coming this week, but there's going to be one on Monday and one on Thursday, at least. So watch for those. And I thank all you guys for being here tonight. A really, really good chat. And of course, always the side chat. There's only about half of you left, 27, 28. But really appreciate you guys coming in. Yep, you voted today. Good job.
I voted today.
We got to vote.
Get out and vote.
Oh, I know as much as a lot of people think it doesn't make a difference, and all that other stuff. We don't want to get political, but you can't go by that. You got to do what you got to do, and you got to stand up and exercise your rights. And
record turnouts.
Yep.
Early voting all week was been an hour to 2 hour wait times.
No matter which side you're voting for, the other side doesn't want you to vote. So get out there and vote.
Yep.
Do your duty.
I voted.
And hope everyone has a great week, and I hope to see you all next week.
Thank you, CW. I think that was Tuesday. I went and voted early. Tuesday or Wednesday, I voted. And like I said in my comment, thanks to Bama Dad warning us about them changing votes. I triple checked mine and then double checked my ballot. And Fuzz T Fork, if you're still out there, you'll be glad to know that Marjorie Taylor Greene ran unelected, unopposed. So she will be elected again. So
I like her a lot.
Yeah, I like her too. She embarrasses us sometimes. Time for us to clear the deck. Clear the deck for Gizzard Gary. Y'all check him out if you ain't doing nothing. We hope that the Lord blesses you all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock.